I hope you're having a great day and I hope you had a great weekend. Today we're going to talk about some of the most common, powerful, science-based, common sense-based tips to burn fat if you're struggling. There are no trends that work. There are no fads that work. There are no supplements that work for fat loss. If it worked, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now and people wouldn't be struggling with fat burn. Number one, fat gain can be caused because of several reasons. You can do a mental check in your mind right now to see if you fit into that category of people. If you're constantly eating junk food, processed food, you're going to have problems with your weight. Common sense. All right, just stop doing that or limit it and things will change. Number two, most people struggle with fat burn because they have a hormonal imbalance. A hormonal imbalance, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, cortisol, all of these hormones are out of whack, not allowing you to burn fat the right way. If fat burn was easy, we would just work out, eat well, and burn off that fat. But if you have a hormonal issue, it can be very frustrating. You're going to the gym, you're working out, you're dieting, but you're still not losing weight. Number three, you could have insulin resistance, and that's why it's not enough to check your HbA1c. It's not enough to check your fasting blood sugar. You need to do a HOMA-IR test, and you need to check if you have insulin resistance. If you have insulin resistance, it will be difficult for you to lose weight. Now, if you're a type 2 diabetic and you're on insulin injections, fat burn is going to be extremely difficult, but not impossible. Not impossible. You see, there's a secret that I'll share with you. It's not my secret. It's just how the body works, but no one talks about it because everyone wants to sell you a product, sell you a supplement, sell you quick fixes and fads and trends. Think of insulin as a key. It unlocks your fat cells to burn fat as energy only when your insulin levels are low in the body. I'm not saying you're in hypoglycemia. I'm just saying they're at low levels. So now consider this. You're eating throughout the day, snacking, not finished digesting one meal, you're eating again. Doesn't matter. It could be pumpkin seeds, it could be almonds, it could be biscuits, it doesn't matter. But if you're constantly eating, every time you eat, you raise your insulin levels. Of course, unless you're a carnivore and you're just eating meat and nothing else. All right? Insulin goes up. The key does not work. Insulin is low, the key works. That's why smart fasting, when you fast the right way according to your body type, you don't push it too much, you do it the right way without the fads like lemon water, green tea, and black coffee, and you fast, that further raises your cortisol levels and takes away the whole purpose of fasting. When you fast, your insulin levels are low, allowing you to use the key. Your body uses the key, opens the fat cells, and you burn fat. Which is why for some people who do fasted workouts, and it suits them. They're fasting, wake up in the morning, they do a walk, they do a run, they do lightweight training, and right now their insulin is low. So they open up fat cells, and during that workout, you will use fat for energy. But consider this, you wake up, you eat a heavy breakfast, you go to the gym. By the time your 1 hour workout is done, the only energy you've actually burned is the energy from your breakfast. So am I saying everyone should fast? Fasting is therapeutic, but it doesn't suit some people, and some people shouldn't be doing it. Fasting's got a bad name because people overdo it. People push themselves. People have 4 cups of black coffee, raising cortisol levels, creating a hormonal imbalance because cortisol is also a hormone. It doesn't work for them. You can start off simply doing 12 hours. In your circadian rhythm, you have 24 hours. 12 hours is your feeding window, 12 hours is your fasting window. That's too easy for you? Maybe you go to 14 hours. Maybe you go to 16 hours. Do you have to do it every day? Absolutely not. Sometimes once in a week you can do an 18-hour fast. You can do a 20-hour fast. Everyone is different. You come back from a holiday, come back from a wedding, you ate too much. That's the best time to fast. Let your insulin levels come back down to baseline. So you see, one is fasting, smart fasting, therapeutic for your body, your insulin levels, your fat, your hormones, and everything. If you're a thyroid patient, thyroid levels are out of control. Fasting is not going to be the best thing for you, especially prolonged fasts. If you're really stressed out and sleep deprived, fasting is going to be an added stress on your body. That is why in all of our religions, whether it's Ramadan, whether it's Lent, whether it's fasting according to Hinduism, it's a time when we're actually supposed to be less active. We're supposed to sleep well, less active, because fasting is a scientific process happening in the human body. Fasting also puts stress on the human body. So if you're stressed out, you're sleep deprived, and you're fasting, it's not really going to give you the best benefits. Well, that's for fasting. Number two, how can I bring insulin levels down so they open up fat cells and you can burn that? Number one, smart carbohydrates. You don't have to go too low. You don't have to go keto if you don't want to. On your plate, you should have the least carbohydrates and you should have more protein, more fats, and more veggies. Prioritize protein. Every meal that has no protein or less protein isn't working for your metabolic rate. It isn't working for your fat burn. Number three, there's a simple process that you need to understand. If you're trying to burn fat, you need to be in a calorie deficient. What does this mean? If you're burning energy, but you're eating more, you're not going to burn fat. So if you're burning energy and you make a slight calorie deficit, which means one of your meals could be half the size. That's it. It's a calorie deficit. You don't have to make major calorie deficits where you're hungry and you're cranky. You don't have to do that. You can make one meal lesser in portion size. Or if you have 3 meals in a day, you cut down each meal a little bit. You're still creating a calorie deficit. Get rid of the unnecessary snacks that just feeds your emotional health because you feel bored, because you feel angry, because you feel stressed out. Those are unnecessary calories. It doesn't matter whether the calories are coming from a salad or junk food. Calories are calories, period. A lot of people try to follow these fads where they go a lot of fat and less carbohydrates, but they don't understand that fat also has a lot of calories. Just because you're cutting out carbs doesn't give you a free pass to increase your fats. Fats have a lot more energy. So the point is, it's got to be a fair balance of everything that you're doing. Some people go low carb and they eat as much of fat as they want. Of course, you'll lose weight initially and you'll put it all back on again. The body needs balance, period. The very fact that you're struggling to lose fat, you have a hormonal issue, is because you have an imbalance. You've got to bring balance back to that body of yours, whether it comes to nutrition, exercise, undertraining, overtraining, your sleep, your emotional wellness. If you're chronically stressed out, that could be the only reason why you're not burning fat, because you raise cortisol levels. Cortisol goes up, progesterone comes down, estrogen goes up, testosterone comes down. You're working out, you're eating well, but you're not losing fat. That's why you've got to navigate through stress. Whether it's tools that you use, meditation, deep breathing, spending time in nature, learning how to accept, surrender, let go, whatever works for you. But chronic stress will be an enemy to fat burn. For a few lucky people, chronic stress actually cuts the appetite and then they don't eat and they lose weight. Everyone's different. Sleep. It's a no-brainer. I have hundreds of people every month consulting me from around the world. And most of these people have to do just one thing: start to sleep better. And everything changes. The hormones start to balance. They start to make better choices when it comes to food. All of that. You got to understand that the body works on simple laws. So it doesn't matter what you're eating, but the point is, if you're in a calorie deficit and you are working out consistently and getting your sleep in place, you will start to burn body fat. Of course, there are some people who are on steroids. They have to be managed differently. Steroids are depleting certain vitamins and minerals from your body. You've got to put that back into your system. You've got to learn how to manage the mechanism of steroids working in your body to prevent fat gain or water retention. Some people are on certain drugs. Some people are on antidepressants. Some people are on different treatments that make them gain weight. There's a different way for them to eat and live. But for all of us, you know, the most brilliant observation that I see, and it's just common sense looking at all of us in our face. People are great Monday to Friday. It takes one weekend of mindless overeating and eating the wrong foods to take away all the work that they put in from Monday to Friday. I see this happening every week. Now the point is, I'm not here to say you need to have a boring weekend. Okay, we can love food, but do we need to be greedy? We can love food, we can be a foodie, but is the definition of a foodie overeating and greedy? No, now you're a greedy foodie. There's a big difference. I know people who love food, but they love a little. They want to overeat. You can enjoy your weekends, go out, have a meal. But why do you stop your workouts on the weekend? Why don't you take your rest day on a Wednesday? Because you're more in control of your food. Why don't you take your rest day on Tuesday, on Thursday? But make sure if you want to enjoy your weekend that you're working out on Saturday and Sunday. Who put it on your mind that Saturday and Sunday shouldn't have a workout? Who? You have time to eat out. You have time to drink alcohol. You have time to stay up late at night. You also have time for a workout. What I'm talking to you today is common sense, because right now we have a lack of common sense. People want more and more content and information, but we have a lack of action. You can give people all the content in the world. It's useless if they don't put it into action. But do we need more content? Or do we need the simple sciences and simple tips that I decide, okay, I have a problem, I need to lose fat. These are the 3 action points that I need to work on consistently. But here we're looking for more Ozempic, Manjaro, weight loss clinics in Dubai, in Kerala, in Switzerland. I don't have a problem with these clinics. They're great, but is it your solution? Is it going to teach you how to behave as a human being around food? Is it going to teach you how to behave with your lifestyle? The answer is no. So people can go on and on spending money and profiting and looking for quick fixes. I have clients who have done a tour of the world looking for fads, looking for treatments. They spend crores and crores of money, of rupees, and they have the money. Why not? But finally they come back and they're on a diet where they eat dal, chawal, sweet potato. If they're non-vegetarian, a little bit of chicken, fish. They go back to the gym, they do yoga, and guess what? It fixes most of their problems, if not all of their problems. We do not need complication. Sometimes you need complication, that's very rare. But the point is, I've explained to you exactly what's happening. If you have stubborn fat, it's because you're unable to burn it. You're not reaching a point of burning it. Those cells are holding on to it because you're eating too much. You're not in a calorie deficit. Your protein is less, or your sleep is messed up, your stress levels are messed up, or your workouts are wrong. Cardio cannot burn body fat, period. You need cardio with strength training, cardio with resistance training. You need anaerobic and aerobic. You need to increase your lean muscle mass, which is a part of your endocrine system. What does your endocrine system do? It better balances your hormones like insulin, thyroxine, and all of your other hormones. That's how the human body works. I'm sorry, it's not what I think, it's how the human body works. So you'd rather start deciding to put in a little bit of effort, a little bit of consistency, with this little bit of knowledge that you need. You don't need more knowledge than this. You don't need to understand what GLP is. Everyone, society talk today, oh, I'm on a GLP. All that doesn't matter what GLP is in your system. It doesn't matter. One fine day, your doctor is going to say, I can't give you any more Ozempic or Manjaro. We already have those patients. And now they're scared to be around food. They have something called a nutritional psychiatric problem. They're on meds for their depression and anxiety. There are no shortcuts. Those drugs were made for very few categories of people where it can save their lives. It wasn't meant for you to knock off 2 kilos, 4 kilos, 5 kilos. It isn't. It's now approved in our country for the youth, for children, and you're going to see a cascade of disaster following. Yes, a few juvenile obese youth will need it to save their lives, to prevent a metabolic syndrome. For all the misusers who think they're cool, flying to Dubai, London, all of that stuff, guess what? You were never able to change your lifestyle. These drugs are never going to work for you. And I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. You'll have celebrities endorsing this, talking about this like it's their lifeline and stuff like that. Those same celebrities are our clients, come now to handle the terrible side effects of these drugs and to figure out what's going wrong with them. There are no shortcuts. The human body doesn't work on shortcuts. But here's my plan for you. It's very simple. You have 7 days in a week. What are the top 3 or 4 actions, the smallest actions that you can be consistent with? That will start the journey towards fat loss. A lot of people need mental health and emotional health. They're desperate to reach their target because they're so desperately comparing their bodies and their journeys with all of their friends, their enemies, and with everyone on social media. So they're in a state of desperation. A state of desperation is a state of stress, more cortisol, more adrenaline, lesser testosterone, more estrogen. They struggle with fat burn too. You want to take a step back, sit down, assess yourself. I'm greedy, I overeat too much, I eat out too many meals out, whatever it is. You don't have to feel bad about it. It's okay to say that we are that way. Sometimes recognizing the truth solves the problem. And then what are the top 4 things that I'm going to work on this week? I'm going to get my sleep right. I'm going to do 10 minutes of meditation and deep breathing. I'm going to get 2 meals out of 3 meals. 1 meal out of 3 meals right. That's a great start. Everything that has ever been successful in life started off with small, consistent actions. Small, consistent actions. That's how it works. And that's how it's always going to be. All of these industries promising quick weight loss feeds on human desperation for instant gratification and quick fixes. The sooner you realize that, the happier you're going to be, because you'll stop chasing and you will start doing. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you care. It's all about you.